Welcome back. In this session, we are going to discuss that what is SMTP enumeration and what an attacker can do with the help of SMTP. So mainly the port used for SMTP, that is Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, is 25 for outbound email, and we use IMAP for 143 over SSL and POP for 110. In simple words, if I can say, user typically use a program that uses SMTP for sending email and either POP3 or IMAP for receiving a email. So what we are using? We are using SMTP for sending emails, and for receiving we are using either POP3 or might be IMAP. I hope this concept is very clear that we are using SMTP for sending emails, and for receiving we are using these protocols. Now there are some SMTP commands. Basically, there are three built-in commands, which is, you can say, the verify means it validate the users actually, and the EXPN, you can see here, it is generally we use, it tells the actual delivery addresses of aliases and mailing list. And the last one, RCP2, it identifies the recipients of the message of the email, you can say. Now these are the default one, VRFY expansion, receipt2, right? These are default one. Whereas we have hello, we have EHLO, and hello is, it's the first SMTP command, is start for the conversation, identifying the sender server, and is generally followed by its domain name. And EHLO is alternative command to start the conversation. And mail from, basically from where exactly the mail is started. And we have the data at last. With the data command, the email contents begins to be transferred. It's generally followed by a 354 reply code given by the server, giving the permission to start the actual transmission. So we have these seven commands of SMTP, and in which there are three default commands. We have VRFI, EXPN, and receipt2. Now SMTP servers responds differently to VRFI, EXPN, and RCP2. Uh, just to validate valid and invalid users, from which we can determine valid users on SMTP servers. That's why we generally use these three commands as a default. Attackers can directly interact with SMTP via the telnet prompt and collect list of valid users on the SMTP users. So I believe these three default commands, you understand that what it is exactly. Now, what are the tools we can use? Well, there are might be a different merit of tools. Like we can also use Nmap, right? There is NetScan Tools Pro. You can see here. There is SMTP User NM. There is SMTP User NM. This is actually a we can say command, right? So this is a command of SMTP User NM. Now, here we have DNS enumeration. Now, what exactly that DNS enumeration is? Why we actually do DNS enumeration, and what we will get with the help of DNS enumeration? Well, we are doing DNS enumeration just to know how big the organization is and how many subdomains of a domain are having of a organization. And with the help of DNS enumeration, we can yield, usernames, computer names, even the IP addresses of potential target systems. Now, there are many tools for DNS enumeration. For example, NSLOOKUP, Maltego, DNNum, DNS Recon. And if you want to know the subdomains of a domain, then you can also use online tools. So for example, security trails, which can give you the lot of subdomains of a particular domain. For example, let's say Microsoft.com. If you want to know the subdomain of Microsoft.com, then how you will get to know about those things? You can use Maltego, you can use security trails, you will get to know that how many actually subdomains are there. And even after finding the subdomains of a domain, means DNS enumeration, You can also try to find out the bug for that particular subdomains. Now we do have a zone transfer. Now what is that DNS zone transfer? So in DNS zone transfer enumeration, an attacker tries to retrieve a copy of the entire zone file for a domain from the DNS server. That is what a DNS zone transfer is.